Hi, you're watching Transmission. Trans people do love to talk. Have a listen to what they have to say.
If you had a magic wand, what would you change to make the world better for trans people?
Magic wand, and it'd take a really big one, but it'd be eliminate transphobia. I think that's the biggest thing holding most transgender people back from going out into society and trying to just be themselves like I'm doing myself. So to be able to eliminate transphobia, I think would benefit absolutely everybody.
I guess in the time that I've been working in the trans community, we've tried to move away from tolerance to acceptance, and acceptance is still, I think, a begrudging term. So what I would love with a magic wand is to have gender diversity embraced and celebrated by the community.
I would make everybody's language a bit better. I would get people to ask other people what pronouns they presume, before presuming on other people what pronouns they would like, and just to be more respectful of other people and what they need.
I would like for there to be more education about the transgender lifestyle and the issues we face. In particular, a lot of myths and misconceptions that have been perpetuated by Hollywood and television and other forms of media. There's been a lot of mistruths put out there over the years, and people just kind of take them as fact. So I would love for there to be more education from an earlier age about just being transgender.
I think full access to medical services that on the public health system, so people don't have to pay out of their own pocket, because it's extremely expensive. And I think it's already hard enough to try and get assets like a house or something in this day and age, but to have to pay up to 20 grand or more on surgeries and medical expenses it just puts people in a much more disadvantaged state. So I'd do that.
That just femininity was more valued in society, and that I mean, obviously this is from my male to female perspective, but I just think it's, especially in Australian society, femininity is undervalued, and it shouldn't be seen as a weak or a sort of a false way to be. Yeah.
Oh, I'll go with instinct. I'm going to say the health professional situation. The shortage of health professionals of all sorts, doctors, listening types, chiropractors, whatever, just that we could go into a health professional and get the service we need in that circumstance without having to do a trans 101, without being pathologised. And if it was a trans specialist thing, that there would be more surgeons and endos and that sort of thing. I think that's becoming really, really critical.
Wow, a magic wand. First I'd pose with it because amazing, a magic wand. What would I do? Wow. I would make the gatekeeper system non-existent, and I'd cover surgeries and hormones and have it all free by Medicare.
Less questions about what your genitals look like.
If you had a magic wand, what would you change to make the world better for trans people?
I thought you were going to ask something else for a minute there. What a magic wand, what would I change on me? No. It's so tempting just to say remove gender on toilets. That's probably not a feasible thing, but magic wand. I kind of don't mind the struggle, even though I've said I'm happy to be through a lot of it. It is our journey, it is who we are. I appreciate the other side of the story, and I find it a bit hard sometimes when trans people say, oh, I got misgendered or this sort of thing, because if I'm perfectly honest, when I see someone, I want to know what gender they are in my head. And I don't know why, but it just helps me sort out the world. So I don't know that there's an awful lot. Maybe just a bit more understanding and tolerance.
Obviously, with the easy thing, make everybody able to change, if it's specifically change, everybody able to change any aspect of your physical appearance at will. My favorite sci-fi series books. One of the things, anybody can mentally initiate any sort of, sex change, body change. Like, if you want to be some big, hulking, beefy guy, then yes, you can start secreting hormones for that like crazy. If you want to change yourself into a petite female, yes, you can do that. Take a few months, but, easy.
I'd love for there to be no stigma attached to being trans. So, no one ever felt ashamed to try different clothing out or live as different genders. And also, I'd love for gender swapping to be so much more accessible and easier to do. Rather than really expensive and hard and really hard to access. So, no stigma. I'd love trans in general to be celebrated almost, and a really bright, visible part of our community that is seen as bringing joy, which it should be, which it is, but mostly by mainstream community.
I would probably try and take the stress out of their heads.
If I had a magic wand, it's hard because on one hand I'd like to say magic wand, all procedures, hormone replacement therapy, and therapy full stop is free, but maybe I'd make that and probably get rid of all of the unaccepting people or people who are unwilling to learn about it, because sometimes I feel like people are significantly more part of the problem than just your bodies, and I don't know.
I would like to see gender be less relevant to how people interact. So people are just completely free to be whoever they are, and there's just no social expectation of one thing or the other.
I think it would be people taking the time to become educated about trans issues. So because a lot of the offence people cause, I guess, to myself personally, is just naivety. So asking stupid questions, like when I've just met them, like, oh, do you have a dick? Or, like that sort of stuff. So, yeah.